This news update is brought to you by...
They ask us how we do it, how we outrun the world. They ask us, how does it feel to fly? How do we dive headfirst into the deep? And emerge victorious. They ask us if we're afraid, if we're nervous, or if we ever feel lonely, so far away from home. But the truth is, home is always right here with us. Get ready to witness the magic of the Olympic Games like never before.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Wednesday, August 17. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. The private sector is welcoming measures outlined in the financial statement and budgetary proposals, which was presented by Finance Minister Chris Sinckler yesterday. But they say they are not clear why details were not given in several areas. Representatives are also raising concern that some projects and plans which were outlined up to 3 years ago have not yet been implemented. The chair of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Roseanne Myers, described the budget as a positive one, but she told a post-budget breakfast meeting this morning that the lack of policy implementations in past budgets is hindering growth in the tourism sector.
Things that were granted to the tourism sector about 2 years ago, if we can get those fully implemented, we would probably be happy with nothing else being added to an additional budget. Because the truth is, the implementation of those, or the lack of the implementation of those things, probably has hindered our growth. So we feel very strongly that this is an attempt to clarify some of those difficult areas. We already have a close working relationship with Customs and BRA, and we already have a proposal on how an interim measure to deal with that specific difficulty can be done. So I think we're well on the road with that one. We thank the Minister for that.
Meanwhile, the tax engagement leader at PwC, Gloria Eduardo, is calling for clarity in some areas.
The Minister proposed a tax amnesty with respect to VAT, income tax and land tax from September 15, 2016 to February 15, 2017 on penalties, interest and other charges incurred up to September 14, 2016. We welcome this amnesty and it should result in some taxpayers clearing arrears of taxes. However, we know that the Minister did not state whether the amnesty will also apply to arrears of corporate taxes, and we hope that this can be clarified. In addition, we would implore that the Ministry of Finance provide clear and unambiguous guidance to the Barbados Revenue Authority as to how the amnesty will be implemented. In our experience with similar amnesties in the past, there has been much confusion and time wasted trying to determine what was covered by the amnesty and how it should apply.
Meanwhile, President of the Barbados Economic Society, Jeremy Stephen, says the proposals put forward last evening was one of the kinder budgets presented by Finance Minister Chris Sinckler. But Stephen wants the details on the implementation of some of the measures announced.
Now, I know that a budget is supposed to be a high-level document that's supposed to express intent. But during that intent, or as you're expressing such intent, one would expect that you say, well, we expect to implement X, Y, Z with regards to the proposals in such a time. And that was done for some things, but not some of the more critical takeaways from the budget, especially those soft negative points of the budget with respect to the cuts in expenditure and the heightening in taxation. So for instance, no one will know right away how that $50 million cut that's expected to be shared by all ministries is going to be allocated. Will it be that the less vulnerable ministries or those with actual cash piles in the bank, if they are such, if they would be expected to take a bigger hit? Is it going to be done based on impact on the economy or impact on government's provision of vital services?
In other news this afternoon, there are reports of an oil spill on Rendezvous Hill as a result of an overturned lorry. Police and fire officials are on the scene and they're advising motorists to avoid the area if possible. And with just a few more weeks before the start of the new school year, one secondary school teacher says he would like parents to get more involved in school functions. Andrew Bourne was addressing a panel discussion last night, which was organized by the New Testament Church of God in St. Philip to address the influence of parents over school children. Bourne says fathers especially are notably absent during their children's school activities.
You try with the parents, and there are some cases I can tell you where when the parent has become much involved in the child's life, you see a reversal of a lot of the things that they were doing, right? You see improvement, especially when the fathers come forward, right? And that is something too that I am a little concerned about. The fathers are not very present. Like orientation day, if you look in the audience at orientation day, the fathers are not present. For maybe 200 students or so, you may find maybe 30 fathers present, but they're really mostly the mothers are really present.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong.
Back now with news from the region. Fishermen in Trinidad are up in arms over a report from advocacy group Fishermen and Friends of the Sea that fish from the Gulf of Paria is not fit for consumption due to an oil spill in that area. Fishermen from the Cedros area say the group's statement will have implications for their livelihood, and they are calling for scientific evidence to back up their report. We get more in this report from TV6 News in Port of Spain.
I didn't hear Fishermen and Friends of the Sea talk about how would the fisher folk continue to survive. Where would their next dollar come from? Where would their income, how would they sustain their families?
President of Cedros Fisherfolk United, Siunas Dalbury, is rebutting FFOS's claims.
The surface fish has nothing concerning pollution. Kingfish, carrot, salmon, kuvali, those fish are good for the consuming to the public.
But it's not only the allegations they're angry about, it's the fact that they feel the group's remarks have no basis in fact. Furthermore, they're questioning the motives of the group.
On the international scene, a raging wildfire has forced the evacuation of more than 80,000 people from their homes in San Bernardino County in California. This is the latest in a number of wildfires which have affected the state this summer. More in this BBC report.
These pictures show the extent of this blaze as the wildfire spreads at a staggering pace through the drought-parched canyons near Cajon Pass in Southern California. This airplane attempts to tackle the raging flames from above. The trails of red smoke are firefighting chemicals sprayed in an attempt to douse the blaze. And here we see the same aircraft return to drop more on this area of dry terrain. Across the region, tens of thousands of people have been evacuated from their homes. Here in the town of Phelan, in San Bernardino County, close to the Mojave Desert, homes are devoured by the flames. The blaze started around 100 kilometers to the east of Los Angeles, shutting down a section of the main route between Southern California and Las Vegas. And it continues to push its way northwards, showing no sign of slowing down. Plumes of smoke mark the territory it has already claimed. This is the latest wildfire to devastate California this summer. The heat and drought, a deadly combination, as the region longs for much-needed rain.
And that report takes us to the end of the news this afternoon. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can tune in to Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good afternoon.